and I love Molly Sleuth.
I am the eyes and ears of this institution.
Mama don't like tattletales.
Who knows? In 1,000 years, even you may be worth something.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Room for one more, honey.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door.
I think we live in overstimulated times.
The chat is already like 700 emojis deep. I love it. It's just me tonight. Don't cry. It'll be all right. We'll get through this. And tonight we're going to have some fun. I have some devilish things planned, if you can last that long. That's what she said. Anyway, I am Molly Sleuth, sort of, I guess. I am from the hellhole of Los Angeles. It's very weird not to hear anything. I'm not wearing my earbuds mostly because they're tied in a knot. And then secondarily because it's like only the best for me. If you want to pity me, you can pity me over on Cash App, where all of my boyfriends on Facebook get directed. Actually, I wanted to show you before we start with how dumpster fire this world is right now. No, I'm not going to share the dick pics, but Ben in the chat, you've seen them. Well, I edit them. I don't send him dicks. He doesn't send me his. I don't send him mine. But for whatever reason, Facebook got like hot again this week with all these men that are trying to woo me with their appendages. First of all, you're a billion miles away. Like, what is that going to do to me here? And speaking of which, so I pretty much send them all to the Cash App. And this one guy was like, oh, you just blew it. Because I was like, sir, I'm not interested. Why don't you move along? And he was like, oh, you blew it. You could have had everything. And he sends me this. Do you like this? This is called non-Amish screen sharing. I'm very like high tech tonight. Very. Half of those accounts are mine, sorry. Well, your dick has many flavors, sir. So, okay, so anyway, he sends me this, which is funny. You can't see my little mouse pointer, I assume. But it's got some like U.S. lawsuit in the bag with it, but he's apparently in Egypt, and he was going to send me all of this U.S. cash, but I blew it because I wouldn't fawn over his dick pics. And so I was like, I don't know if you're more like desperate than stupid or stupid than desperate, but I guess you just shared that picture with like every freaking spammer on the internet because it seems like everybody's using that picture. I don't know why they do that. It's very weird. Anyway, there goes my brush with greatness. Could have been rich. If only. Is that the haul from his latest scam victim? No, it's like a lawsuit. I don't know what it is, but that looks like a lawsuit. Somebody versus somebody in the chat. I'll have to put on my glasses. I have to put on my glasses. And anyway, hi, everybody. I will, if anyone's thinking about joining, I will put well, let me take the money off. I'm not paying you shit. I ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit. And now my $4 camera is getting confused by my glasses. This is so stupid. Bob's versus Vagine. Yeah. Okay, so I could take those down. Let me share the little thingamabobber in the Rumble chat. Sorry, I can't do YouTube chat for the 1.5 of you that watch me on YouTube, but I can live monitor the. Plus, let's be honest, YouTubers would probably not work. I don't know, for some reason it's not wanting to. This is the high quality that you come here for every week. Am I even in frame right now? Who knows? Okay, if anybody wants to come in to the StreamYard, and I will add you, and we can talk about life. That would be fun. Okay, I got some other things pending in the wings here to horrify you with. Speaking of which, I think like the biggest news feed that's been like bombarding my eyes in a million different ways is this whole Zoran Mondani thing. And no matter where you are politically, like it should concern you that after he was elected, that people are ripping American flags down in New York City and people are cheering. Like that should really concern you. If it doesn't concern you, may I suggest that you use your passport to go where it would concern you. But yeah, and then he was grifting just the morning after. Good morning, New York City. Send me money. And he got over $500,000. Like, and he's saying, oh, well, he needs it for all kinds of, people that he wants to hire and this and that. Like, you're going to be in office. You're an employee. You can hire people with tax money. You don't need to do a fundraiser. And I guess at his celebration party, he had a paid bar, which a lot of people are laughing about. I kind of think it's gross that he is grifting, but there you go. And so then the New York Stock Exchange was pretty quick because they decided that they are moving to Dallas, Texas. And so now they're saying that instead of Wall Street, it's called Y'all Street, which I think is funny. Rod, you should go get a job. You're in Texas, over at Y'all Street, since it's coming your way. And imagine that a lot of people are going to be fleeing. I fled the dumpster fire of Los Angeles, and I very much miss my old job. In fact, one of my old captains texted me the other day, and she was like, oh, just checking on you. And I was like, oh, she said, oh, I thought that you reapplied. I'm like, yeah, they weren't hiring white people when I reapplied. So, because I moved to Michigan, it's a whole thing. You'll have to go to Protect and Swerve. We're going to have another Protect and Swerve on the 21st. Randy will be back. He's in New York right now, probably consoling his sister, who has no idea what she's going to do because she doesn't have enough money to move. She doesn't have enough money to stay. And a lot of New Yorkers are going to be like that. So we really have to hope that they're okay. There have already been jokes in Florida that there's going to be some kind of a giant tariff on New Yorkers that decide to go and live in Florida now. But, California already saw it with Newsom, that a lot of people left and you couldn't get a U-Haul, and like that shit is real. And the parasites are going to outlive the host. And if you're smart, you get out as soon as possible. I suggest Michigan, although we are another Democrat hellhole. I mean, have you seen what's going on in Dearborn? But we'll get to that. Anyway, after Mondani won, we already had, because he's very anti-Israel, the fire commissioner for New York Fire Department, FDNY, already resigned. The police department is like horrified and at a standstill because he wants to stop hiring. He wants to stop paying for equipment, and he wants to stop paying for overtime. Like, how do you think the city is going to run if you just stop letting there be cops? Now, for those of you who haven't seen me before, like I grew up, I was a teenage punk rock hellion, and then I was an LAPD cop for over a decade. And it really opened my eyes to the way that the world works. So, good luck not having police officers. But he's going to close down Rikers Island and let all the criminals out. Maybe they can police each other. Maybe you could just have like cage fights. You guys could pay for it. That will pave the roads. I'm just thinking out of the bag because you guys are going to need some solutions pretty soon. So I'm worried. I do know some people in New York, and my best friend's sister lives there in Brooklyn, and so I'm very worried about her. So we shall see. But okay, let me put on the glasses and make sure that I get all my... I'm looking for my glasses. Have you seen them? Texas is inviting New York cops to come here. Could they invite Molly? I'm kind of good. I was very good. I want to break down a conversation later, but I did teach interview and interrogation tactics, body language, and lie detection for the Los Angeles Police Department. And maybe you need that in Texas. I hope they keep calling themselves the New York Stock Exchange, but then be in Texas? Texas is not going to allow that shit, sir. I hope they call it Y'all Street. I think that has a real ring to it. Anyway, so Ron DeSantis already said that he was going to tariff New Yorkers fleeing to Florida. Yo, do we's got to wear cowboy hats. I'm sure that's your New York accent, sir. Just like my mom and I had a conversation earlier today. She types phonetically, or she talks into her thing and her thing doesn't understand English. One of the two. I have to read it out phonetically and then I understand. Yo, do we's gotta wear cowboy hats. That's my New York accent. I'm fired, I realize. But at least there'll be free buses. Okay, so he said, we will prove, this is so interesting to me because I was a default Democrat. And so, but I also didn't know how the world worked. Let's be fair. So we've had all these like no kings protests, like, oh, no kings, like we don't want them telling us what to do. Like, hey, I feel the same. Like maybe we're on the same team. Oh, you voted for Zoran Mondami, who just said, we will prove there is no problem too large for the government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about. Something like that. I don't know. I took the glasses off. So it's like, he basically just said, we're going to be your daddy and you're going to love it. And they slurped that shit up. And it's like, you were just protesting no kings. Like the hypocrisy is wild. And we're going to get to another hypocrisy story that comes out of LA this last week. But anyway, that's not the only thing that's been going on. Election-wise, it's been a little bit wild. I was so rooting for Winsome Sears, and they got that Spanburger chicken, which is crazy because the left said elevate Black voices. So then Winsome Sears ran, and you're like, we like the white lady. Like, but okay. It's just like crazy. And then, so Spanburger, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but if you haven't, you really should look into it. So they asked her about this Jay Jones guy. And Jay Jones is some asshat that your tax dollars are also paying for. And he said that he wanted a Republican to take the emergency exit out of life by the hands of another. God, will YouTube just get over themselves? Her posts had little to no engagement, then she suddenly won. It was election fraud, in my opinion. Well, entirely possible, because there was a big push. Winsome Sears was everywhere. And so I'm surprised that it wasn't closer. But so this Jay Jones guy said not only did he want his opponent to get killed, Virginia is a disappointment. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Virginia. So he wanted to see the opponent's little kids, they're like 3 and 5 or something, also killed in his arms. You okay, bro? And so they asked the Spanberger bitch, like, hey, do you want to, like, say that you don't celebrate that, or that you don't back that? Are you still, because she came out and said that she backed this Jay Jones guy. And are you still sure about Jay Jones? And she was like, just this big, fat, fucking, like, fake-ass smile. It was so creepy. I don't understand. It's so wild. And it wasn't just that one. So Bangor, Maine. Is that where Stephen King lives? Because good for him. But they elected a convicted felon. I don't even know that I want to use these people's names because I don't want to give them any more or whatever, but it's just kind of ironic that her name is Angela, because, like, Angel. Because she was convicted of manslaughter and convicted and sentenced to 10 years. But here's what had happened. What had happened was some tourist allegedly said something racist to her, words, and for that, he was severely beaten and choked with sand shoved down his throat and suffocated for words. And now they have elected her to the city council. So go Maine. It's not just Virginia. And then in New Hampshire, just to keep it all on that side of the country, New Hampshire rep is this trans. They don't say if it's a male to female or a female to male. And the sad thing is, at the moment you look at them, like, you know exactly, like, they're not fooling anyone. But we'll get to that. I don't really believe in, like, the transition, that there's some point at which you then, the cocoon opens and you're something else. But at any rate, a lot of people do. Anyway, this dude, he asked his partner, who worked at a daycare. So I don't know if this is a girl that's a dude that's a girl, or whatever, but partner works at a daycare. And as you do, just ask, like, hey, can you, like, get me some nudes of these little kids or what? So, yeah. So anyway, they're the rep in New Hampshire now. So that's good. It's really just like, what? Anyway, I think the hero of the week is this chick, Tish Hyman. She is such a ball buster, like, literally. Okay, so in Los Angeles, there's the Beverly Center. It's like 3rd and Beverly and Fairfax, I think. Big, fat freaking mall. I used to go there. I used to work at this bakery on 3rd Street that was a pile of shit. And we had ants and rats and all kinds of stuff. And the health department used to close us down like once a week. And then they would only close us down because it was disgusting and shit was dangerous and you were eating ants and shit. And that was the place I cut off the tip of my middle finger in the bread slicer. And then my disgusting boss, Frank Waldman, who's dead now, rest in a piss, drove me to Cedars Hospital. And he said, don't tell them this happened at work. I got to go find free parking. I went into the hospital. I was like, I don't know my name, but I work for Frank Waldman at Doughboys Bakery, 3865 West 3rd Street, whatever the address was. Anyway, when the Department of Health used to shut us down, we would just walk to the Beverly Center and, like, just spend the rest of the day until his check cleared. Because as soon as you pay the fine, you're open again. You don't have to clean up. You just have to pay the Department of Health to be dirty. So that's good. That place might still be open, but he is not open. He's dead. Anyway, so the Beverly Center is this big fat mall, and they just put in a big Gold's Gym. Which, I mean, I guess that's good. The only Golds I knew when I lived in Hollywood was the one on Cole or Cahuenga over there. I used to go to auditions for acting next door. That's where I auditioned to be a bad dancer for So You Think You Can Dance with this hairdo. And I got the job because they thought I was the worst dancer they'd ever seen. They were very quiet, and my agent called me laughing her ass off and was like, I don't know what the hell you just did in there, but they hired you. So anyway, there's a new Golds at this Beverly Center. And so there's this girl, Tish Hyman is her name. These names are just so ironic. Anyway, Ms. Hyman is a lesbian. She's about my age. She lost 100 pounds. She's fit as hell. Beautiful. Just like the most gorgeous physique. And she goes to the gym a lot. And she's a singer, but she also does like fitness influencer stuff. And she is over this dude who she's seen at the gym several times. And it's just like, dude, like you can't come into the ladies' room. Like you're in the ladies' room and showing us your dick. And I think it does complicate it a little bit that she is a lesbian. I mean, girls don't want to see dicks. Trust me on this. Anybody wants my Facebook password, you can email me, mollysleuth@gmail.com, and you can take a trip down Dick Lane. Because I don't know how my freaking profile got written on a stall somewhere in Qatar, but they all seem to think I need to see it. But I would think that for somebody who doesn't want to experience dick at all, this is so gross. I'm really glad that my dad doesn't watch the show. Anyway, I would imagine for a lesbian it would be even worse to have a man disrobe in front of you in a sexual way. And that's basically what she's kind of alluding to. She's seen him multiple times. She's confronted him and said, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you in the ladies' room. She's not a shy violet. And so a video came out this week of her at the Gold's Gym, yelling and letting everybody know because she finally said something to Gold's Gym and Gold's Gym kicked her out. She's no longer a member. She has been kicked out. And she said that she was naked in front of a man without my permission. So like she's naked, getting, dressed as people do when they go to the gym, especially her, because she actually goes to work out and get sweaty and she isn't there to like be seen or make a whatever stupid video. She really is there to work out. So she probably takes a shower there. And I don't know anything about gyms, so you'll have to just fill in the blanks for me. But she was naked and he went in there. And so this week, she walks into the ladies' room and he follows her in there and he calls her a bitch. So like he's looking for this confrontation. We'll get into this because I think he really does explain his motives on TMZ interview, which was very interesting, very telling. And so she screams in this video at Golds that he's dangerous and that she felt that there was a sense of danger about him being in the ladies' room and showing his dick to her. Now, she yells that there's a grown men in the bathroom with big dicks. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of boys in the chat. I don't mean to talk about dicks so much. But I think it's important the way that she worded it, because I think it's really like word choice is very important. It kind of shows like motivation sometimes and word strength. And it goes to show like motivations for saying certain things or the underlying tone or story that we're not getting. Because she said without her permission. So you could maybe infer that something has happened to her in the past, maybe not with this dude, but in the past. But when she said there's grown men in there with big dicks, it made me think a couple of things. One, that she's seen it. Because if you say a guy has a big dick, that's like an ego inflator in American culture. And clearly she's not trying to show this guy in a beautiful light. Like, oh, hey, everybody, he's got a big dick. Just like you wouldn't say he has big muscles or a lot of money or like all these things that American culture, puts out. So for her to say that, I thought about how when I was teaching interview and interrogation tactics and how to speak to witnesses and victims of crime, a lot of times you'll ask them like, well, describe the gun. And for somebody that's afraid, the gun is always fucking huge. And I thought about that when she said that she really was afraid of it. And is that being a lesbian? I don't know. But women do have like that stranger danger element that lives within us. It's so that we don't get killed. It's the same thing that causes my two little bunnies to like always be on high alert because they always think that they're going to be eaten, even though I do nothing but give them treats and kisses and eye drops and baths. Well, not real full baths, but eyeball baths. I got a bunny with an eye thing right now. But so when she says big dicks, she's not complimenting him. And so we'll get into his admission. He didn't admit it, but he admitted it. It's like Candace says, we don't know, but we don't know, but we know. That I think he admits. He knows that he intentionally showed her his dick, which is all about power and control and can make a woman feel very fearful. So, I mean, if she walked down the street and there was a poster of a dick, like she wouldn't be afraid as much as a guy that literally walks into the ladies' room with her, calling her a bitch and showing her his dick. It's like, that's very different. So she says in this video that's taken outside of the ladies' room, admit it, you say women like to see dick? So that's not like, oh, he's like, because I was in junior high, we had PE where we had to like take a bra off underneath our shirt and try to like, take this off without showing like our calves to our fellow classmates. And typically, and I used to go to Korean spas as an adult, and there's always some like old Korean lady all hunched over, brushing her teeth and spitting into the drain. Like we're naked, but we're not like naked. But it's different if somebody's trying to be naked. It feels different. And so if he really said women like to see dick, he's intentionally showing it off. And that's a power and control thing. So, and then calling her a bitch, but it's like, well, if you're pretending to be a girl, like, isn't that a dumb insult? So then she, okay, so then her membership was terminated. His membership was terminated. We'll get into his, whatchamacallit thing, TMZ interview. But she's gone off. She has an Instagram and she's been going off. And I guess a bunch of trans people have been in her shit saying, y'all don't want your own bathrooms. You don't want your own safe space. And they don't. Apparently, they just want to force themselves into the girls' bathroom. Now, I'm not some kind of like nun that's can't hack the modern world. I used to work at a lot of really skeezy places in Hollywood. And there was this one club that me and my friends, who were all drag queens, there were boys during the day and girls at night, and we all used the women's bathroom because there wasn't a sexual element to it. They were never trying to like peek under a stall or show you their dick or anything. And it was less disruptive to go in the women's room where they actually had a stall where you could sit than to try to like move a corset and do all this shit and like piss in a urinal. If he is this guy at the Gold's Gym, if he is trying to piss, like there wouldn't be any reason for her to see it because there's stalls in a women's bathroom. There's no urinal in the Gold's Gym women's room. So I do believe that he tried to show it to her. But it was really interesting when she said you all don't want your own bathrooms because, like, you should want your own bathroom. He does talk about that. He says that, well, if you have one for trans people, you have to have one for male to female and one for female to male. You can't just put all trans people together. I do believe that. But as a woman, I can say I have absolutely no problem with a female who dresses like a male using the women's bathroom. I don't think you're trying to, like, do anything to me that would jeopardize my safety or cause me to show you the party favors that I typically carry in my purse. So, okay, so TMZ interviews him. And he says that he knew he was trans at 8 years old. But you're looking at this guy and, like, he's a dude. Like, he's not acting female. He's just like a dude in a woman's space. It's very odd. If you have a daughter, you wouldn't want him changing her diaper. Molly pulls full-length katana from purse. You just don't know. I could have a nuke. You don't fucking know. Don't try me. So anyway, he says he's been trans since he was 8, but he only started hormones a couple months ago. But the plot thickens, and this is where it gets crazy because it's just like when I was a police officer. You just get this sixth sense for other people, and you can tell, like, who's holding, who's got a gun or drugs or something on them, who's got a warrant, by the way that they cross the street, by the way that they look at your car and look away. There's a way that normal people do it and a way that somebody with a warrant or holding a gun looks at you. And that's a little bit different because in cop mode, I'm a predator. It's like, okay, we need to go get that. We need to make people safe by attacking that. But off duty as a girl, it's like stranger danger. I need to get the hell away from that. So it was very interesting living in the barrio and, like, running for my life. In fact, I don't know if you can even see it. I fell off the fire truck last Friday, and I think some of you, it's looking so much better. Oh, you can't even tell. But my whole hip is, like, still really nasty. Why do we need communal bathrooms at all? You know, I agree with you, Rose Art. I think at some point we're just going to have single stall everything. And I'm okay with that. But understand that means you're going to be paying a lot of extra money for the cheeseburger, for the gym membership, because they have to build that infrastructure. Everybody needs their own separate bench, shower, toilet, sink, whatever. I mean, I just bought a house. I can't imagine how much money it would be to throw in another bathroom here, let alone the amount of space that it would take up. You have a lot of people using that gym, and which is why they have communal showers. I mean, I just think about, like, the Korean spas that I used to go to in LA. You can't make that not a communal space. You can't give everybody a cold bath, a hot bath, a eucalyptus sauna, a marble sauna. Like, you can't give that to everyone. And you can't just say, oh, okay, well, you get to be in there and I'll be our only customer for an hour and then we'll have one more. Like, it would be $1 billion an hour. Like, the whole reason the place is able to be open is that there's like 50 girls in there all the time. And if you're getting like a salt scrub or something, we're all on tables next to each other. Hi, Pammy. So one bathroom, keep it clean. Yeah. So you're saying just have one bathroom for all men, women, in-betweeners, everything? Like, just have one bathroom? I feel like that's going to last about a week. Of course, TMZ goes for an interview. Hey, listen, this guy was none too like shy about getting on there and wearing this like low cut tank toppy thing to get interviewed. Apparently, I haven't been in gyms. Yeah, you and me too, sister. I'm totally fine with the Taco Bell dining area being communal. That's where I go. You notice how it's always men invading women's spaces and never, ever the other way around. Well, okay, so good point, circle one. But I think this is the overall conversation that needs to be had is that there is a difference in trans versus autogynephilia. And I think what you're seeing right now is a huge push of autogynephilia. These are men that get sexually gratified out of faking that they're a woman, forcing you to see them as a woman. It's really no different than like the flashers in the park in the 70s that would like come up to your car window and like wiggle their dick at you and run off. It really is like that gross. So at any rate, the plot totally thickens though, because what they find out is that this dude is going by this name. I'm not even going to say the name because it's so freaking twisted. He is a convicted felon. He's been in trouble with the law many, many, many times, including just 3 years ago, convicted of felony spousal abuse against his wife, where he broke her jaw, caused her to require facial surgery. And then when he was in jail with men, decided that he was going to take the easy way out because now he's trans. And his new name is his victim's name. He's now going by his ex-wife's name that he abused. It's so dark. And although Gold's Gym didn't know that, and this bodybuilder singer chick didn't know that, she knew that. You can sense that kind of danger. And that kind of power and control that he's trying to have over women by forcing himself into their spaces, it makes a lot more sense. This is why it's like, if you're truly a gay guy, like my gay guy friends, my drag queen friends would like honk my boobs and stuff. It wasn't sexual. I didn't care. It was no different than them like pulling on my ponytail or whatever. It didn't matter. But there's a different way that people can touch you that's darker and more fucked up. And that's, I believe, what this Tish woman experienced, was that darkness of him like wanting to have this interaction to make her feel victimized and not to be like, oh, we're all just girls here. Like, no, he showed her his dick on purpose and called her a bitch, and he's following her into the bathroom. Like, this is predatory stuff. Power and control. Remember that, because we're going to move on with the TMZ interview. Okay, so he was convicted. He pled guilty. She had other serious injuries too. But he also has priors for resisting arrest and drug trafficking. He's like a shitbag. And the restrooms and the goth clubs back in the late 80s, early 90s were free for all. They probably still are. And it didn't matter. Nothing like, listen, I hung out with some real a-holes. Nothing bad ever happened to me in the bathroom of Helter Skelter. Except I did smoke a clove cigarette once. It smells a lot better than it tastes. Well, yeah. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. Me and my friend had to invade a men's room once when the line was too long for women in emergency. No men complained. Well, that's true. They don't think that you're in there to like attack them. I'm grateful there were stalls. That's sort of like, some men's rooms have a trough urinal. Civilians have issues with those. Veterans laugh and urinate. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just very weird what you men put up with, that you're all going to just like piss in a line. If there was a trough toilet for women to all be butt to butt and like, oh, could you hand me some toilet tissue? Like, I don't really know how that would go. It's very odd that you guys put up with that shit. And that there's not like a divider. But I get that there's not a divider because it would be covered in piss in like 2 minutes. So I guess you just have to leave it open because you guys are all savages. Oh, that's a massive projection. That's what she said. And that's the truth. Vanilla's the same way. Total Christmas story decoder ring moment when I tried to taste that. I think I maybe put that out of order because I'm real confused now. Okay. So she's now saying we need to call these people transsexuals. I don't even think so. I don't like the word trans. Trans means like to change something to another, and it's like cosplay. But it's like a darker version of cosplay. Like at least if I wore a Sailor Moon costume, I'm not forcing you to call me Sailor Moon and like you better say it or you're gonna get canceled at work. So, but what I thought was really interesting during this TMZ interview. The hell was that? My house makes the weirdest noises. Vanilla is like cloves, I meant. Oh, thank you. Good, because we were talking about trough pissing. I was getting concerned. So TMZ asked him, were you clothed at that moment where they're arguing in the bathroom? And it's real interesting what he says. He says, last time I was clothed the entire time. This is after a whole bunch of wish-wash here, there, and the other. I was betoweled or something. He says something very odd that's like not even a good evening, the ghost of Molly's house. Dude, you're not even kidding. I don't even know what that was. Something over there. If you have ghosts, you have everything. They don't pay rent, though. I'm not happy. Okay, so then TMZ starts talking to him about, well, like, what stage of transitioning are you? Like, is your genitalia transitioned yet? And this is what I don't like about it because, like, you could shape it like something else. It doesn't change it. And especially knowing that this guy is a woman hater. He broke his wife's jaw. That woman said, I do, to love, honor, and cherish. And you broke her jaw and went to prison over it. And that's just something that's like so gross to me. And then now chasing women into the bathroom and being like, look at my dick. Like, it's just really mentally fucking ill. But so TMZ wants to know what level of transition he's in, as if that somehow validates it. And so he starts going off on this whole thing about electrolysis and how he had to do electrolysis. It took me like, I was in the chair for like an hour or two. And he said, before you can have the surgery to change downstairs, one must have every single hair done that. Like somehow you'd have to electrolysis everything to not have any hair before they can do surgery on you. And I just thought, well, that's stupid because no, people have hair. People have hair that get gunshot wounds. They just shave what they can and handle what they need to handle. Like, it's surgery. Like, you think the scalpel is going to like hit a hair and be like, like, what do, no. So he says it would take like a year or two. It's literally not even a possibility. And I thought that was really interesting because it's like he's already kind of seeing in the future that like a year or two from now, like he's not going to be at this phase of what he's trying to do. Because if it only took a year or two, because at the same time, this guy is saying that he was trans since he was 8 and that he always knew it. And now he's like 36 or something. And it's only going to be a year or two before all your wildest dreams will come true. And that's like not even a possibility. You would be so excited. Like the finish line is only a year or two away. I can't wait. I'm not even going to electrolysis my face. I just keep spreading it and being like, do it, because I got to be a hardware floor before they can do surgery on me, which doesn't even make sense. I mean, we give CPR. You can use the AED pads on a super hairy guy. You just have to shave him down real quick. Or use the pad and then wax him and throw another pad on him. It's possible. You don't need to electrolysis everything. Electrolysis doesn't always work, too. And I mean, he's like a fair-skinned white guy. I'm not even going to picture his pubic hair, but if you have lighter color, electrolysis isn't even going to work for you. There you go. You can now think about dicks even more. Is this like the dick chat tonight? Can we get some emojis in the Rumble chat for some... I think very, very few actually want to give up their man card completely. I don't think he does. So we'll go a little bit deeper. So he says that the fear-mongering that she was perpetrating, like he's the victim. He chased her into the bathroom and called her a bitch, but now he's the victim. And this is all part of this like power and control that he is using being a female to get power over females. I'll show you is really the end story that I'm getting at. Oh, Jesus. Yes, thank you for that. That's a really terrible emoji when I don't have my glasses on. So thank you for that, Circle of One. And if you would like to abuse the emojis in the chat, Fridays at 8 o'clock. Oh, thank you, Rose Cesar. That I like. Those are very nice. That's a lot better than Circle of Ones. Oh, Jesus. There she goes. Look what I started. Okay, so then they're talking about the victim, Tish, and the dude goes, Tish, is that her name? Like, he was really discounting her as a human being. She has to think about you and change her entire like way that she operates and how she gets dressed and when she's allowed to go to the gym and how she can, what she can look at safely in the bathroom. But like, she's so insignificant to him at that moment that he's like kind of quipping like, Tish, is that her name? Like just being a petty cunt. But then it was so interesting because then he gets this black accent on and he says, Gold's is like my sanctuary, especially at the Beverly Center. Catch me there. And he like blows this weird fucking kiss. But he's like having this black accent, which I can't do, which was so interesting to me because it's like, okay, you want to be a woman. You want to be a black woman. You basically want to be the person that you were harassing in the bathroom. And yet you're like, Tish, is that even her name? Like, you're an asshole, sir. You know exactly what you're doing. So he says, then he says that the trans people have been here thousands of years. Like, you haven't even been here thousands of minutes. You may have been taking hormones for a couple of months, but it hasn't even been long enough for you to pretend to be a woman better because you still look like a dude to everybody in that bathroom. And not like there's a point in which you pass. Like, I don't really know. There are some like male to female cross-dressers, whatever you want to call it, cosplayers that are very convincing. And like when my guy friends dressed like girls and we would go out, I mean, they were like over the top girls, but they were always like she and her, and we just had fun. There wasn't anything sexual about it. Like they were playing a role, and then we were all just normal friends during the day, and they were dudes, and they were fine with that. They weren't trying to like pretend that they were girls. But I should have more pictures of my friends, but none of them are friends with me anymore. So there's that. One of them told me that I had white privilege. I'm like, I literally paid for everything you did since you were 16. And like, you got a free ride scholarship to art school and then married some dude and moved to a place and you don't pay for anything at all. I'm privileged. Yeah, you're right. Totally. Fucker. Okay. So he says, this is where it got really interesting, and I slowed it down because I'm very interested in body language. And, oh, yeah, it does seem sort of like a single white girl movie type thing obsession. Yeah, it really was weird. Like, you're pretending to be a black girl, and, like, there is the object of your obsession. and you have to like tear her down. A real black girl. So he says towards the end of this interview, he says, I know that I'm a woman. But as he says it, he does a single shoulder shrug, which shows that he doesn't really believe what he's saying. Oh, do you want to go on a date with me? Yeah, I guess that would be okay. Like, she doesn't want to go on a date with you. Watch the single shoulder shrug. Anytime that the face is sort of incongruent, in fact, he does it right after he says that. He does a single mouth shrug, which is sort of, I gotta get my shit together. So he does sort of like we call it a mouth shrug, only on one side of his face. And his eyebrows kind of go up in sort of like a grief victim mode, which is sort of interesting. And then he purses his lips. And like pursing the lips can be sort of the equivalent of like, I shouldn't lie. I don't want this to come out of my mouth. I'm trying to hold it in. People will also do it when they're literally like holding their tongue because they are like, oh, don't tell her that she's got toilet paper on the back of her dress. So the pursed lips is sort of like, don't say it. But he's also saying like he's so proud of being a woman. So it isn't that. Because then the next thing he says is that not everyone possesses this much self-feminine power. Self-feminine power. And like, I'm a girl, was born a girl, probably die a girl. I wouldn't ever really consider myself self-feminine power. It's a very odd way of explaining it. Now, he also has this affectation where he's like trying to sound smarter than he is, or trying to sound like more interesting, or just being kind of like that catty, cunty, like drag queen stereotype, not an actual like how women talk, but how a caricature of a stupid woman talks. So it could be that he's just like trying to reach for words that don't make sense because he doesn't make sense and he's a walking incongruency. But so he says that much self-feminine power, it just doesn't happen. Not in this patriarchal system of which we've been living for so long. That's so interesting. And I think that really says everything. He's got this big, disingenuous smile that doesn't happen as he's saying that. He's not happy about what he's saying. He says it flatly, and then this like Cheshire Cat grin comes out. It's so fascinating. He knows he's being a little cunt. But he says it. Power. That's exactly what this whole interaction was about. He saw a strong woman, literally strong. You look at her and like this woman has this like physique. She's clearly like just so fit. And I mean, she lost 100 pounds. I guess she's got a whole story and now she's all about fitness. And she talks about how she lost all the extra skin by going into the sauna. And now like that whole part of her routine is being jeopardized because how do I go into the sauna, like wearing clothes? Like you're supposed to just go in there with your towel or whatever. And like now you're letting men come everywhere that want to stick their dick in my face. And I mean, she has a point. So she's gotten a lot of attention since then. But this dude, anyway, that's saying, I don't know why my phone just turned on. Thank you, Ghost. Appreciate it. Self-feminine power, patriarchal system of which we've been living in for so long. Sir, you were living in the patriarchal system your whole life with your bearded mugshots as you were breaking your wife's jaw, and then you go into a patriarchal system called prison, where now you're just a scrawny dude that's not very strong, not very big, and now you're probably victimized. And I think he saw being a girl as sudden, instantaneous empowerment. Like, I can be powerful, I can get away from these bad guys, and now I can go into this pool of other people so I can be the powerful one here. And this is what I'm talking about with autogynephilia. Yes, there is a sexual fetish element to it, like the flasher. But for this guy in particular, a wife beater, a literal wife beater, he has problems of power and control. He admitted that he's already been kicked out of Crunch. And what was the other one that was on Planet Fitness and now Gold's? So, I mean, you've been kicked out of 3 gyms and that lady was only at one of them, but it's her fault. So hopefully we'll see a lot more from that. She's going to Sacramento Tuesday and Thursday. And I can't think of her Instagram offhand, but I think it's Listen to Tish. Her name's Tish Hyman. You can find her on Instagram and go support her and give her some love, because this was a pretty big week for her. She wasn't trying to be all that. She's not a super political activist kind of person. She's just trying to be a singer and like a fitness influencer. And she took a stand for all of us. And I think we should support her. Along with that smile, you'll see, we call it Duper's Delight. Sometimes when people are lying, and it's interesting. So I invented a game, Don't Tell Disney, called the Sarlacc, and it's all original trilogy Star Wars characters, and it's kind of like Werewolf, but it's a roller coaster with a lot of twists and turns that I do live. Actually, I'm going to be doing it November 22nd, whatever the Saturday is there, at Dave Con in Okemos, Michigan. So if you want to come learn how to be a liar, you can't really learn how to be a liar, but you can learn how to spot other liars. Come down. But I call it Duper's Delight. Well, I guess everybody calls it Duper's Delight. That sometimes when people are lying, they smile while they lie. It's a very odd thing, especially when you're like saying, like, are you the bad guy in the game? And they're like, no, why would it be the bad guy? Like, dude, you're the bad guy. Anyway, this guy's like smiling and laughing while he's talking about supposedly being a victim of this terrible, woman in the bathroom. Fucker. All right. Speaking of fuckers, who else do we got? Oh, let's catch up. I'm more disappointed in other men that didn't fuck him up. There was some guy that was in his face who was like a foot taller than him, which made it even more obvious that this is about small man, big mouth. Like, he doesn't feel very strong and he wants to be strong so bad. He wants to be powerful so bad that he would literally beat a woman. And now he's trying to beat women into submission with this whole like trans game. Oh yeah, it does seem a single white girl. Sounds like targeted harassment that would be illegal no matter what sexuality. Sure, Jan, not many women can wiggle their penis like you with their self-feminine power. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Where do we want to go from there? I've got a lot of assholery. Look at this. Yeah. My handwriting never really got any better. I'm a lefty. We only learned cursive writing in 5th grade. My teacher said, don't worry about it. You only need it this year. So I don't know how to really write in cursive anymore. Okay, so I guess in no particular order, I wanted to talk about Mexico because this other mayor was just assassinated in front of a whole group of people out at an outdoor event. And Carlos Manzo, and he had begged this new president to help. There's been all this cartel violence. Now that you've got the bigot badge on YouTube, whatever that means. Do you think I'm making money off of YouTube? Is that your estimation, sir? But so he begs the president, like, listen, we're having a shit ton of problems with all this cartel violence going on here. We need your help. We need you to send us, some non-corrupt police, some infrastructure, like something. You got to help us. And basically was told to fuck off. And so as she was running for office, It was just totally coincidental that 37 of her opponents died. And now, after this guy was pretty vocal in criticizing her inaction, because she was like not going to help him out with his cartel violence, he was shot in public. I heard clinking again. No, that was my ring. I will take credit. Is that what you heard? That I actually have a ring on today. I married myself. I think I got that on Temu for like $5 with free shipping. Hooray to Chinese trash. And she was all pissed off because Trump suspended the beef imports because they had this like screwworm in their meat. It's kind of like a bot fly, but it's really disgusting. And she was like, that's not fair. Like, well, fucking clean your shit up then. Like, don't be sending us this diseased garbage. It's not a ghost. I heard clinking. Wait for the girl in the painting behind her to start dancing like Ghostbusters 2. Don't make fun of my painting. I found this painting for $14 at a huge antique thing. And I basically squealed when I found it. I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I still do. It's giving... Why is my camera always... Do I need to clean it? This is what I'm going to clean it with. I got an eyeglasses thing that's like the Voynich manuscript. Maybe it's just dirty. Did that help? It did! I think. It did. Me and technology. It was $14 because it's haunted. I don't care if it's haunted. If those two are ghosts and I hear a cello, circle of one, is that a cello? And this girl wants to dance in my bedroom at night, I'm all for it. Now, you want to hide my phone charger? I have a problem with you. I still haven't found that charger. Then I have like moved everything in this house 433 times as I've painted every room and moved boxes from here and there and open stuff and where's my storage going to go and what's going to go in this cabinet. It ain't here. And I don't know, like, nobody's breaking into my home for a charger for a 2016 Galaxy J7 Prime. Pudding, not Jello. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I do want to talk about Great Britain. It's so weird to be here. Like, I'm by myself, but I'm not by myself. You know? I do want to talk about Great Britain. The UK. Wales specifically. Ghost 1, Molly 0. No, Ghost like 20, Rod. Because it stole a can of spray foam that I was trying to like cover holes for like mice situation. I am in the Midwest. There's mice. It's a fucking thing. And what else did it steal from me? Like everything. I put stuff down and I'm like, nobody else is here. The bunnies don't have opposable thumbs. They're not taking my shit. I have to call the ghost girl. I do. I have been remiss. We've established that you're not alone because of the ghosts. You're so... I have to call the ghost girl, but the reality of it is that I have a lot of cleaning to do. Okay? And I wanted the house to be done because we're going to go through room to room to room. I mean, this room is kind of done, but I don't have a kitchen table yet. So, you know, I just eat my TV dinner, like, hunched over the oven like a savage. And that's why I haven't called her yet. I know. Okay, so we are tackling racism in the UK, which I think is a really great thing. And here's how we're doing it. You can't walk your fucking dog. Just don't do it. They put up signs. The signs literally say, this is an Islamic area now. Please be courteous to your Muslim neighbors. No walking dogs. Like, where's your dog supposed to piss? I like the dark blue paint. It's called Dark Knight. I think it's Valspar. It's a really beautiful blue in person, and it looks great with wood and gold. So anyway, so you're not allowed to walk your dog in Great Britain, and I have a solution to that. I would give you a visual representation of what I think all of the UK should do to combat these no walking dog signs. They all need to go get themselves one of these. I think this will help. The English Bulldog. I present to you the English Bulldog. I went down an English Bulldog rabbit hole today. There wasn't anything really of any interesting note, but I did. This is a UK area. Please be courteous to your UK citizens and don't eat their dogs. Hey, you're not kidding, Rose Thistle. Like, there's been some shit happening in LA County right now. They're finding all these dogs burned alive and killed in various ways, and at homeless encampments. They don't have any suspects yet, and it's horrible. I did not put any of those dogs in the comments, in the thing. So you can just look at this happy, fake English Bulldog. I wonder if dogs could smoke. I think they're smarter than we are. A clove cigarette, though. They might eat it. So take that out. And English Mastiffs would probably make a bigger impression. But they're not the English Bulldog. And I think they have like Welsh Corgi. That's Welsh. English Bulldog. When in Rome. Okay, so I left the city of LA and I went to the beautiful state of Michigan. And now Michigan's a hellhole. And so Irish Wolfhounds, those ones are fun. They're stinky though, my mom says. I think she had one. And she grew up in Michigan. So Detroit is making all these arrests. I think they're up to 6 or 7 dudes for this thwarted terrorist attack. They're not really telling us a whole lot about it. Just that they had a storage unit. They had bought rifles and handguns and shotguns. And they had gone to Cedar Point, which is like the Magic Mountain of Ohio, to sort of ski the loke, as we say in LAPD, to go check it out. And they decided on a couple of bars in Detroit, like Boys Town area where the gay bars are. Now, these guys were 16 to 20, so none of them could get into one of those bars. And I guess the shotgun was just to bypass the whole identification problem they were going to have at the front door. But anyway, they've said that they got a defense attorney now. He's saying that it's all a big misunderstanding. These are just kids that are playing video games. Like, they bought guns. Like, you want to talk all the shit in the chat? Act of furtherance is how the law calls it. And that they bought 1,600 rounds for these rifles. 1,600. And they've been seen at shooting galleries, whatever you want to call that, ranges, going shooting. They bought all kinds of other shit, tack vests, whatever. And I guess they were going to pull something off Halloween weekend. They called it like Pumpkin Day or something. So we're not really certain what was going on there. But one of them they caught at the airport. He was going to go to Turkey. And then from Turkey, he was going to go join ISIS. And they're not saying where these kids were born or anything, just that they've all been radicalized. And the Detroit area is getting real tricky. So we'll see. But but actually, one of the guys lived in Seattle. They served a warrant on his house, and the 19-year-old that was found at the Newark airport. So he's a New Jersey guy. Milo Sedenet to go to Turkey. And then the two 20-year-olds, Homad Ali and Majed Mahmoud, were the ones from Michigan. And so, yeah, that guy was going to go to Syria and join ISIS. And then a guy in New Jersey, another one, Tomas Khan Jimenez Guzal. But, yeah, their defense attorney says didn't do nothing. And the FBI, this is interesting. FBI says more charges are coming. That's really standard. I used to file charges for a living. So you would get them on the top felony with the highest bail to just hold them. And then typically you have that time to arraignment, 48 hours, to be able to present the whole case, to add charges or amend charges. Okay, we didn't get the witness to that thing, so we're just going to change it to this. But you have that holding period, and I've never worked for the FBI, so it could potentially be different. But the fact that they said that there's going to be more charges doesn't surprise me at all. But I think what it does, 1,600 rifle rounds, are they billionaires? Yeah, I mean, 16, you're 16 years old, and you can afford 1,600 rifle rounds. Let's just say that with my rifle, allegedly, those rounds are very expensive. There will be no warning shots. Ammo is too expensive. And that's the only bad thing about them. I bought this land so I could get her as a puppy. That's the only thing bad about them. Oh, they do stink. Okay. I wondered about those. Yeah, I probably want a dog, but I have bunnies. They don't like me today. Which I don't know how. I'm like the treat fucking distribution center. There's like so many treats. The vet was like, but anyway. Okay, Zelensky. Did you guys follow this one? He is now the number 10 landowner in America. He just bought 916,000 acres in Wyoming. This is 4 counties of land in Wyoming that Zelensky just bought with your fucking paycheck, because we have sent billions of dollars over to his country because he's at war and he's a victim. And now he is the 10th most landowner in America, just shoving it in your face. And of course, he buys the shit with some offshore account from Cyprus. And if you have an account in Cyprus, like, you're clearly like moving some beans under some cups that you don't want. Typical shit. Because look, if your country is so great, Zelensky, how come your money is not in the Bank of Ukraine? But they don't. It's in Cyprus. So anyway, his offshore account and his stupid, who the hell sold it to him? Listen, you want to give me that kind of money? How much did he spend? $79 million. You want to give me $79 million? It might even come with 2 bunnies. I haven't decided yet. But are you paying closing costs? Then maybe. $79 million was all it took to buy that. And so, like, what's going to happen now? He hates our country. He's such a grifter. And we've been sending him all this money. And when we audited, remember, like, his wife got caught with like that suitcase of cash, and like they bought a yacht and like all this shit that was going on, that was happening. Where are you going to go? Who the hell sold it to him? Where are you going to go? You wouldn't sell your bunnies. This week, I might. Only because I have to go to the vet again. I think somebody's having a tooth issue because her eyes are stupid. Nobody cares, but I care. And she hates me for it. because I'm trying to like clean her eyeballs. There's this stuff they make for contact lens wearers, which I don't wear, but it's like soap for your eyeballs, and it's so nice. You can use it, no problem. I sent some to my dad because he was having some eye issues, and I can use it on the bunnies. And because they can use some human eye drops too, like the Pat-a-Day stuff. But I've put Pat-a-Day in my eyes, and it stings. So I don't want to put stuff that stings. I'd rather just clean out the gunk. This is where we've come to. Anyway, so Zelensky's going to be our neighbor now, and yeehaw in Wyoming. Put some colloidal silver in her water to drink, and then put it on a tissue to wipe her eyes. Put colloidal silver in her eyes? That makes me really scared. Can humans put it in their eyes? Not that I want to be the animal tester to my animals, but I worry, like, eyes are really, really sensitive. And the problem with bunnies is, more than other things, they're totally silent. This is why they use bunnies for animal testing, because they don't cry in pain. It's really hard to see indicators of pain in rabbits. They hunch, but they don't yelp. They don't. They just take it, and that's why they put all kinds of terrible shit. L'Oreal, Procter and Gamble, Gillette. I'm looking at you, fucking animal testers. Yep, I do it on my own eyes. I have better than average vision, and I was able to read that, both of them, because I'm seeing it in double. No, I'm not seeing it in double. It's just very blurry. All right, the DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said that during Biden, 9 million Social Security numbers were issued to illegals. 6,000 of those were on the terror watch list. Here you go. Here is valid government identification. 9 million people is the city of Los Angeles. The entire city. Oh, I make my own silver water. I wouldn't trust it from someone else. I don't trust myself. Anyway, while we're distracted with our own hellhole, just wanted to let you know that Australia has now invented a fully functional bionic eye. Japan just won the Nobel Prize for regrowing teeth with stem cells. And Parkinson's, spinal cord injuries, they're fixing them with these stem cells. And they found an artificial blood substitute. And so that maybe, because I used to give blood and they would call me all the time and be like, how are you doing? Are you hydrated? Do you want to come in? Like, are you fucking vampires? Back off. It's just a silver bar electrified in some distilled water. I'm scared. And so, Rose, I think when bunnies' bites are off, it'll cause their eyes to water. So she had her teeth shaved. You can do that because they keep regrowing without stem cells. And so she probably just needs a tooth trim. Because why? Because they will not eat hay. They only want treats and radish greens and cilantro and parsley and like all this bullshit. Eat your roughage. They won't. That's what happens when you get your animals off Craigslist and buy them in a Dollar General parking lot. And then Russia has this mRNA personalized cancer vaccine to target your specific tumor to reverse it and make those cells back to normal cells. India has just invented this antibiotic for superbugs, which we need because we took too many antibiotics. And 7 new early biomarkers for diabetic kidney disease and some AI diagnostics, which are more accurate than doctors. So that's what's going on around the world. Well, we're shaking our fist at the trans cloud in the gym bathroom sky. Your bunnies sound like leftists. Why? Because they just want all my money? They don't love me back? All right. Speaking of which, not really. I got into a Karen fight on Facebook, and I was told to read this. I don't normally post my fight. I don't normally get into fights. Usually post a little something. Mostly, I like to fight with emojis. I feel like they are the universal language of FU. There's a whole thing. So I'm in Lansing. That's the state capital of Michigan. And there was a pro-life rally. And there were the comments. Lansing is very, very blue. And the comments were just so wrong. So this one girl, I'll save you her name, but let's just say all of her pictures, whatever you think this girl looked like is exactly what she looked like. She says, abortion is life-saving healthcare. Pretty sure that's probably the voice that she had. So then I replied to her and was like, also life-ending healthcare. And then I put an emoji of this lady going, just saying. So then she comes back. She's like, LMAO, this is all one word. There is no capitalization, punctuation. LMAO, a clump of cells, isn't a life, go back to school. Which I thought was pretty ironic, that this entire thing was just the most uneducated pile of garbage that my eyes had to behold because she tagged me. So then Lansing has a lower annual temperature than Anchorage. Am I moving to Alaska? So I wrote her back and I said, what does that clump become naturally? A dolphin? A motorcycle? I'm very sorry you don't see or value life, but I'm also glad your mom did. Now, don't waste that life debating me. I'm quite clear on where I stand. So then this other lady has to slide in and let me know what she thinks. And whatever you think this lady looked like, 100% is exactly what this lady looked like. Why? It can become something life-threatening. What about the woman's life or family? What about her future health or financial situation? There's no punctuation there, but I inferred that it's a question. It has zero to do with you. Why do you care? I bet you don't want to pay any taxes to cover healthcare or food for her or a forced birth. There are thousands of children in foster care. Take care of them first. All right, I'm game. So I replied back to her. If I acquiesce to murder under life of the mother conditions, would you agree that recreational infanticide as birth control should be totally ended? Or is that just your toe in the door to keep girls cheapening their sexuality as free roadkill for the taking to any loser on Tinder? There is a question mark. I am asking her a question. She didn't reply, but it's there. Also, there are more people on the waiting list for adoption than kids in foster care and orphanages in America. So that's just another emotionally charged and incorrect argument to kill our most vulnerable for the predominant majority of irresponsible women who seek abortion. I want women healthy and happy, not horrified and horrified. And that goes for our future women too. Heart. Gotta have the heart. Gotta have the heart. Yes, the irony is that those baby cells in the womb cross the placenta into the mother's body and heal her injured areas for life. These girls are very injured, but their fur babies are not helping them out so much. So they could use some healing. It hasn't happened. Okay, so it is cold here. Red Bike, lower annual temperature than Anchorage. I don't mind it. I thought I was going to die because I would rather die than be cold. I always have a heater on me at some point. I should have turned my heated blanket on so that it was like the bed was already on fire before I get into it tonight. But I hate being cold. But they actually invented this thing. I didn't know about it when I was in LA, dressed like a whore running around Hollywood Boulevard. But when I moved to Michigan, I learned about them. It's called, I want to pronounce it correctly, a coat. I think that's it. And how it works is it enrobes you in your own warmth. It's very good. I think that it's going to catch on. I think other people are going to try them out. Then it will end, but that pair will be very hated. Your cousin lives in Anchorage or your cousin lives in Lansing? I want a friend. Send me a friend. I would like a friend. Okay, so speaking of cold, now I'm going to horrify you. You guys know I love me some garbage. And also, if you are on my CC list, you know that my algorithm is deeply disturbed. Deeply disturbed. So when I go shopping online, I get sent the weirdest stuff. Oh, look. I think that's the person that I was messaging on Facebook. How come we can't add them to the stage? Yeah, that's probably it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. In Lansing, are they cool? Do they want to be my friend? Okay, so then I probably can't add all of these at once. Okay, so apparently the weather has changed. And here in Michigan, it really has changed. We went from like summer weather to it's going to snow on Sunday. Like, how did this happen? There's no fall. Like, I can't even rake my leaves yet because they haven't fallen yet, but it's going to snow on Sunday. I'm wearing my coat already. So I go online to get the kind of garbage that I have come to expect. And I love to go on Temu because they have the weirdest algorithm of what they think that you like based off of everything that you do on your phone, like who you talk to and what you say on private chats, and like hot Viking with thick, strong thighs. And then they try to like send you things for that. So I got sent this, was in my suggested. And I feel it looks pretty warm, but it kind of reminds me of the GIMP masks of some of the sex clubs that I may or may not have partaken in when I lived in Hollywood. And then there's just like this dude. This one's more like sporty, like the sport model, I guess. I don't really know why you would wear that while you're indoors. But, you know, he is. I feel like, you know, just like a hat might keep you warm. I don't know what kind of splashing that he's got going on in his living room or wherever he's at, but apparently he's got to be, you know, safe. And then I found this. This is actually the alien sleeping bag. But what I really liked about it was it told you this is you before you go to bed. Hand in the pocket, looking casual, hanging out as you do. Then, after you go to bed, whoop, little hands get sucked in. You're now in sleep mode, tactical sleep mode. Then you can just walk around in it. What I don't see is any ability to take a piss without taking everything from your forehead to your fucking toes off. I'm not sure. There wasn't a picture of the crotch. So we'll just have to hope that somehow you don't have to piss yourself. And then a lot of, I guess the face does need to stay, warm and toasty. Did find this one. It could be, considered to be problematic, potentially. You don't want to be culturally appropriating. So never fear. I live in the Midwest, and I have given you full licensure to appropriate our culture here with this one instead. So you can wear that one. I really hope somebody robs a bank wearing that one. That would make me very happy. And then, so I am hairless. I haven't had hair ever. My mom glued a bow to my head until I was like 35 so that people knew I was a girl. But what I understand is it is a time for other ladies and dudes that use the female gym that they don't shave their legs, and there's this whole thing about it where you don't have to shave your legs anymore. Oh, let's see. There's this one too. That one's kind of nice. It sort of looks like this guy, Mac McAnally. I don't know. I bought his record for 25 cents. He wrote a song called People Call Me Jesus. It's a pretty good one. He was rad. I was in a punk band. We covered one of his songs wearing masks of his face. Anyway, if you're not going to shave your legs over the winter, that would make me very jealous because I can't grow those fur stockings out, but I did find these. And now I can live out my fantasy. Those are pretty good. And they have other colors too. But I don't know. I just feel like that's the color. That just seems like the color. What other color would you get that in? They had some fluorescent colors. You guys know I like my fluorescents. I got my whole basement going, getting crazy. And in fact, I think that's why they sent me this one, because I've been buying so much fluorescent garbage that I think that Temu thinks that I need this hat. Just, for doing the dishes, just casual stuff. This is just like a casual laundry day look. So that's good. And then the last one I was sent, Chewbacca fetish play. You would come up with that, you pervert. Can you describe the perp? Well, he was a fucking Viking. So jot that down. Bigfoot cultural appropriation. Oh, I like the little emojis after that. That's good. I don't know what a mop suit is, but that sounds sexy. I freaking love that hat. You want this hat? I'll send you this hat. This is not a good hat. She doesn't even look happy about this hat. Look at her creepy little AI face looking like, fuck my life. All I wanted to do was be an AI model, and they put this goddamn hat on me. No. Prince Green and Chewbacca Brown. So I do have a decision I can make. It's not green versus brown. It's gold versus silver. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that maybe the chat can tell me which necklace I need to buy. Because clearly Temu says I need one of these. I'm thinking gold, but I could be wrong. I might have to just go with the straight ice and go with the silver. So I don't know. They're just too good to decide. So that's the Temu shit that I got sent today. So that's good. If you like to find Temu shit, you should send me links. It's my love language. Emojis, memes, whatever. Send it to me, Molly Sleuth at Gmail. Because I do love to get some shit in the mail. And did you see this? So there's this place. Do you know what the Voynich manuscripts are? I'm sure you guys do, because you're all smarter than me, and I don't know why you let me entertain you on Friday nights, but here I am. They make these eyeglasses. I'm constantly, I don't know if I just like I don't know what I do with my glasses, but I'm always needing to clean them. And so I got these really great eyeglasses things, like this one. It's an eyeglasses cloth. And now I can stop being the greasy savage that I am. But they had this one. They've got some fake books. You'll have to go on there. I think it's Nerd Wax. Although they have the word jinkies on some of these fucking things. They've got bookmarks that are also eyeglasses things. This show is not brought to you by Jinkies. And I got this little eyeglass bag, and it's pizza. I just sound like the Little Caesars guy. It's a piece of pizza. Temu has in-ear monitor headphones, FYI. Are they better than this one? Because I don't know. Like, I'm really only used to the Best Pammy. It's hard, but I consider myself to be a lady of finer things. And inside, so you put your glasses in there, and then you can use this little hot dog thing to clean your glasses with. And I had to get this pizza because my wallet is a cheeseburger right now. And the cheeseburger has a hot side and a cold side, and you like open it up. And like, of course, the cold hard cash is on the cold side, and like the IDs and all this stuff is on the hot side. And so I pull my wallet out, and people are like, "What the hell is that?" Listen, we can't all walk around being this all the time. Fully understand. Anyway, the Voynich manuscripts is it's a big cloth. I didn't think it was going to be this big. That's what she said. But you should look into the Voynich manuscripts because it's not even a conspiracy theory. It's real. It's just another reason why we don't even know how dumb we are. Dodecahedrons, Stonehenge, the pyramids, Voynich manuscripts. We're so dumb, we don't even know how dumb we are. That sucks. Are those made from old Twizzlers? I saw a meme once that said, you want to tie the tightest knot in the world? Take your headphones and put them in your pocket for 5 minutes. And it's not wrong. Look, you want to send me some Soros cash? Molly Sleuth on Cash App. Dazzle me. I'll go spend it on Temu. I'll buy the Viking beard and I'll wear it at the next show. Actually, I was going to wear my Halloween costume from last week because I fell off the fucking fire truck to come in with zero notice and no pizza in my belly and do the show. Shit. I've made some progress. Did I not send myself those pictures? I guess I didn't. I don't know. Let me check my eBay. I didn't send it to myself, I guess. Let me look at my sent messages. No. What happens? Do I cause a vortex if I show you my phone? Because I was going to show you some updates that are going on with the basement before I let you guys all go to bed or do something more fun. Maybe go on a date. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. I am starting the ceiling. What is that? Oh, wait, I can't see. Oh, I can't see. This is a layout of my basement ceiling. Those are going to be the tiles, as you do, because I am painting my ceiling. It already has like drop ceiling tiles, and so it's really fun to spray paint when it's snowing. It's going to be great. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But anyway, I've already put up a few in the basement. It's going to be the whole monster room. You guys, if you want the full tour of the basement, go to last week's show and you can see some of the madness. Oh, and then also I didn't share this picture last week, but this was the best kid's costume. And I put him in the fire truck and took his picture. He was just like this weird banana. I don't even know what he was. I don't even know if it was a he. The banana just like walked up to me to get some like candy and glow sticks, and I was like, I love you. Do you want to get in my fire truck? Can I take your picture? Mom, can I take his picture? So yeah, that's all you get. And I don't know what we're doing next week, but on the 21st, I just bought some on Amazon for $25. Sounds like a concert in my ears. That sounds very good. We shall see. Someone figured out a math equation to describe the way headphones get tangled. Well, that sounds like a lot of effort, which is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow in the basement with my mold situation. Because was it you, Rose Sissel, that was telling me about the thyme oil? It gets delivered tomorrow, and I'm going to spray that first because vinegar is my arch nemesis. I can't handle it. I understand it's good, especially when you have red shag carpets, but I would rather die. So first, I'm going to try this thyme oil situation. A plus B equals fucked. Isn't that true for life? And so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. But Randy's back on the 21st, and we're going to be doing a Protect and Swerve, and it's going to be special. I don't know if I tell you why yet. I think you just have to wait and find out. Read the instructions. It's pretty powerful. Yeah, I did read the instructions. It was like only a couple of drops. I was wondering, though, can I put a couple of drops in water and I dry it and then I scrape it? And I read all the instructions. Do you think I should put some vinegar in there, or are those like two different? We're talking about mold, people. Mold, the bane of my existence. I had this crazy, creepy basement that was ready to rock. I peeled some wallpaper and shazam! It's going to cost me money. This money is coming straight out of the slaves that work at Temu. It's terrible. So I'm trying thyme oil because I can't bleach anything. It's got red shag carpet. It's got Brawndo. It's what plants crave. So Randy will be back on the 21st. I'm not sure what I'm doing next week, but I know we need to get more into this ghost stuff because I know you guys like think that shit's happening. Shit is happening, but I'm just ignoring it. Oh, I went to Grand Ledge, a small place west of Lansing, and they had these ghost people there that were talking about shit. I raised my hand a couple of times and was like, I didn't really tell them my whole thing, but I did go to them afterwards and was like, do you guys do like podcasts? Do you guys want to talk about your like ghost hunting and all your little like gadgets and stuff? And apparently they are spreading the word of their business one public library at a time. So there's that. But I still need to talk to that one girl. She was the cutest thing. And they want to come through my house and like have Slimer take over or some shit. Thyme and vinegar is how you make cyanide. Listen, no, it's not. But thanks for hanging out with me on a Friday. It's very cool. Very happy. Appreciate it. I will see you guys next Friday. If you guys have topics or you want to come on the show or you want to roast me, I like those. Or send me the best or worst dick pic that you have received on a dating app. Oh, will do. Molly Sleuth at Gmail. And I will see you guys all next week.